Hey guys, Addie here. Are you ready to get out of diapers? I know I was, and I'm about to tell you how I potty trained my 3 kiddos day and night by age 2. So my first kiddo was potty trained by about 20 months. She actually showed interest around 6 months. She started taking her diaper off, wanting to sit on the potty when I would go. We were traveling at the time, so I held off until we were back. She was about 20 months at the time. My second, she was about 19, 20 months when we potty trained her. I wanted to get her potty trained before the third came along. And then the third one, most recently, she started showing readiness signs about 21 months. I was traveling for work a lot of that time, and so I actually held off till I was done with my work travel, and that was about 24, 25 months for her. And she's actually the slowest to take with it, the one who I waited till she was already 2. So I'm talking basically potty trained, no frequent accidents. For me, it was day and night, both at the same time. And I'd say the slowest, so Rosemary, she took about 3 weeks total to get to this stage. The other 2 were more like 2.5 weeks maybe, but I would say basically for me, in my experience, the sweet spot for this is about somewhere between 18 and like 22-ish months. 24 worked fine, but again, I kind of preferred it a little earlier. They're less resistant at that age, so that's what worked for me. I would also make sure, like, you don't want to do it too early maybe, where they can't even walk yet. They can't coordinate pulling their pants up and down yet, and you want to make sure they have some sort of communication. They don't have to be able to talk full sentences or anything, but just be able to say potty or I go, or, you know, short little ways that they can communicate with you. Disclaimers. I have not read Oh Crap Method. I'm sure it's good. I haven't read it, so this probably differs from that. I have actually never read anything really on potty training. I just went for it with my first one. It worked, so I've replicated it with 2 and 3, and it has worked. So that's what we have done. I tried filming this video. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time I filmed this now, and it's been so scattered. I tried to like write down my thoughts, organized, so that I wasn't all over the place. So if you see me referencing my notes, that's why. All right, so basically there's some things that you want to do before you even start potty training, before you decide. So like a couple months in advance, this is the things you need to do before you begin. First off, I would recommend getting them familiar with what going to the potty means. So we have read books. This is the book that I have in my library. We also rent some from the library, but I have this one at home. It came from a garage sale or like something. It's called I'm a Big Kid Now. It has a boy section, so it's a boy going potty and the differences that come with that, and then there's a girl section. So it has 2 different stories depending on what you have. There's also some stuff in the back regarding potty training. To be honest, I've never read back stuff, but it could be helpful. It probably is helpful. I probably should have read it. But we like this book, at least for, you know, introducing. We'll do short videos, maybe like Daniel Tiger scenes or something like that. And then also, you know, if you're a parent, your kid follows you into the bathroom. So if they follow you into the bathroom, explain the whole process. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I am gonna pull down my pants now. I'm sitting on the potty. Oh, tinkle, tinkle. I hear it. I'm going pee pee. You know, wiping, washing hands, all the steps. Just walk them through it. Have them in there with you and just explain it, because that's gonna familiarize them. That's gonna like signal to them, oh, this is a thing people do, right? So another thing that you wanna do before you even start is just see what's happening overnight, because I will tell you what, this is what triggered with my first one to even do potty training in the first place. I was noticing that around 16, 17, 18 months, when I would go get her in the morning to wake up, she would be dry. She would have a dry diaper. And then she would go shortly after, but she was making it through the night from 7 to 7 without peeing. And so that triggered to me, like, if she's waking up dry, we probably could potty train. So that is something I would look for just to see if it's happening. And that would be something triggering for me. Another thing that I would do, and this is a must for my method, you have to do this, is you have to start paying attention to what their natural cadence of going to the bathroom is. So if they're waking up dry, when is it that they're going? Is it 10 minutes as soon as they wake up? Is it actually a half hour? Do they like have a bunch? Do they immediately go for water when they wake up and then they pee 10 minutes later? Do they like just know what they do? And after you change their diaper the first time, how long is it until you are changing their diaper the next time? Are they having a meal first? Do they typically go for it? Like, watch their schedule. Just see what their natural rhythms are, their natural cadences, their natural tendencies. Start documenting those, start paying attention, start knowing what those are. Also, get out your potty chair. So that's gonna be a supply you need. This is the one I got. It is the brand Summer. I will link everything I talk about that I can in the description, but this is Summer. I really like this one because it looks realistic like a potty. It has the potty chair. It has the little lip here, like the pee guard in case you have a boy. It actually flushes and makes the noise. You can put like a little book or supplies or something in it. And then there's like a little wipe panel up here for, we do little sheets of toilet paper, but I do really like this. And in a pinch, I have also brought it in the car with me. So I like this one. I know there are travel potties out there you can get to. I've never gotten one, but those exist. This is my pretty much go-to. The other things I would really recommend getting are little ones like this that go over the adult toilet seat. This is my favorite one. We have one for every single toilet in our house. Not all the same brand, but this is my favorite. So it's the one I wanted to show you, and it's Munchkin brand. I'll link it. It's my favorite because it has the handles. On each toilet, we also have a little clip, which I will link in the description, that these can just like clip right onto so that they hang on the side of your potty. Just good for cleanliness, good for easy that the kids can reach it, all that sort of thing. I actually like early on to introduce these to my kiddos and have them on this rather than that as quickly as possible, because I don't then have to deal with cleaning the potty chair. Much better if you ask me. So definitely you want this as a supply. The other thing you're gonna wanna do before you start is a potty chart, a sticker chart. This is actually not a potty chart. This is for something different, but you get the idea. And so what I do, I will try to put a picture of Rosemary's actual chart, like here or somewhere. But what you do is you make your grids, and then for me, I make little reward ones. And on this one, it's notated with these little bursts here. But for potty training, I will do like every 3 to start out, maybe do every 3 a couple times, then make it longer, 5, then 7, then 10, and then none. And you can make your chart as big or as little as you want, enough that you want them to be consistent with potty training, not too much and that it goes like on forever and ever. I usually do about 5 rewards in total. So a 3, a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 10. And that's about my chart. So if that gives you an idea. I personally do about 5, like I said, and I pre-pick those so that it's not constantly like them telling you what they want. I've done like lollipops, bracelets, temporary tattoos, little chocolates, things like that, just little things, less than $1 type toys, you know, little packages of something. And I will tell you, I know some people are like, well, aren't they gonna always expect that once they go to the potty? Mine haven't. I've had 3 kids now, and not one of them has ever always wanted a sticker or a reward after going potty and completing this method. It just becomes less appealing as we get further down the chart. As it spreads, it's just naturally, it seems to taper off, and I've not had a problem with that. So take it as you will, and it was definitely good for motivation. So I would not skip that step either. Lastly, you're gonna need to set up your space. So with the materials I just mentioned, you're also going to want to remove your bathroom mats, get some Lysol wipes. There's going to be accidents, paper towels, all good stuff to make sure that you are ready for cleaning up. So my method, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has about 4 phases to it, okay? And the first one is just starting the process. And this for us has taken, it's about day 1, 2, 3 for us. And so when we do this, we wear nothing on the bottom. No diapers, no pull-ups, no underwear. Now I have girls, so we have worn a dress with nothing around their bottoms. If you have a boy, obviously you probably can't do dresses, so maybe you just do tops with no pants, something like that. And basically I will, on the first day, you know, they get them out of their bed, they haven't gone, because like I said, typically my kids have not. If yours are not doing that, you can still do this first thing in the morning. But basically I say, it's potty day, bye-bye diapers, and then take them to the potty. And guess what? Likely they're not gonna go, because they don't even know what that means yet. They don't know how to even think about going to the bathroom. Like, likely that first time they're not gonna go at all. So the first time I kind of sit with them, and only for a minute or two, and I just sit with them, encourage them, be there for them, listen to them, whatever. And I don't use books or anything like that with them that first go around, or even the first few, or the first 3 days. None of that. If they go, we do a sticker on their chart, we do a big celebration, hugs, tell everybody in the house, all that sort of thing. But again, likely they're not gonna go. And so we just say, oh, okay, we'll try again later, no big deal, let them go play. So after that first attempt, because likely they didn't go, you're gonna watch them like a hawk. In your mind, you know their natural cadence that you already have observed, and you know what's gonna happen. So you're gonna watch them like a hawk, and if they're playing with toys, whatever their routine is, if they're eating, whatever it is, you're gonna have your potty chair right near them. Because what's gonna happen is they're probably gonna start to go. And you're then gonna run and pick them up and say something like, oh, you're peeing, let's go to the potty. Because again, they don't even know what peeing is. So you're gonna have to tell them and trigger to them, for them, that that's happening. It's your job not to freak out, to stay calm, upbeat, happy, even though you're gonna be cleaning up a mess in about 5 seconds. So don't freak out. You don't wanna shame them, you don't wanna embarrass them, just stay happy, positive. If they're peeing and you don't actually make it with them to the potty, that's okay. Whoops, accidents happen, it's okay, we'll try again next time, verbalizing stuff like that. And if it does happen, again, sticker, celebration. That's always what happens. And when they get that third sticker on that first go around, they get their prize, and you know, like that, sticker, surprise, whatever, celebration. You're basically gonna repeat that all day, knowing the cadence in your mind of what their typical habits, routines are. You do not want them to constantly being on the potty every 15 minutes. It's too much for them. They're gonna get burnt out so fast. Just use that cadence. So if their cadence is 2 hours, maybe at 1 hour and 45, take them to the potty and just watch them. So we're just trying to get them to know that they're even going in the first place. As time goes on throughout the day or days, you might notice cues that's triggering you, like, ooh, she crosses her legs before she goes. Ooh, she gets really quiet and turns around and faces away. Ooh, she, whatever it is, or he. But you might notice that, and that might help trigger you on when to bring them to the potty. Again, natural cadence though, natural cadence. And I don't load them up on liquids for multiple reasons, but if you are loading them up on liquids, all that research you've done in your head on their natural cadence is gonna be gone. So again, for me, it's just typical routine, what we typically do. I don't need special juices, I don't need special liquids, like, it's just harder to know the timing that way. So I actually don't recommend that. Also, we do leave the house during this time. I mean, if their cadence is every 2 hours, why are you gonna sit in your house and just sit there? No, I mean, if you're leaving the house, then obviously still no underwear, still no diapers, still no pull up. If you have a boy, put the pants on. If you have a girl, put the dress on. Dress is better, I think, than pants or shirt because it still feels so free. Go outside and play in your backyard. Go for a walk down your street. Go take a bike ride, you know, whatever it is. And for me, like, I've had to go out. It's not like an option. I have older kids. Some are in school and we have to go to school pickup. We have activities that we have to do. It's not really always an option. So if we're leaving, I do, of course, try to sit them on the potty before we like go on a long car ride or something. And I'll bring an extra towel, an extra pair of clothes, wipes, and a Ziploc, okay? If you're going far for a long time, you can bring your travel potty, but if we're going to the store or grocery or somewhere that has a potty, then when we get there, I can just put them on, if that makes sense. But there are times when you just have to leave. I can't just stay at my house for a week while we try to potty train. So to me, that's not feasible. And we just do those things and you know, pay attention to the natural cadence again while you're out. Now, when we're traveling in the car, in line for school pickup, whatever it is, if we're potty training, one thing I will do is, for girls, I will put the diaper down and then put her on top of it and then buckle her in, but I will not fasten the diaper to her so it's not snug around her, because the snugness of the diaper can trigger them to go to the bathroom. So I don't try to do that. With a boy, that's obviously a little bit harder. You might have to fasten the diaper on for traveling in a car, because that's just hard to clean. That's not comfortable. It's what I do. So you do what you want to do, but that's what I do. And then again, if we're out, when we're at the store, the playground, wherever it is, if they have a success, they tell you first, they make it to the potty, or if you're outside and they tell you or you tell them and it's the grass, whatever, I treat it as a success. So then when we get home, we do sticker and we celebrate and we do hugs. And if it's an accident, treat that the same too. Oh, sorry, we'll do it next time. And it's frustrating, believe me, to be out and have an accident. But that's why you have your supplies there to take care of that. So just, again, try to keep from the frustration. For nap and bedtime, usually adding to the routine of we go potty before bed. And I try to always wait until they go before we actually go to bed. That way I know that she's gonna last through the night. And then I actually do use diapers at night and nap time, because for me, just adding sheets to the cycle of things I have to do is just not my agenda. So I will put a diaper on, but I put underwear on top of that so that she kind of thinks, oh, I have underwear on. And at this point, I really don't have many underwear. I have like had some with my previous kids, so that's why we did that. But again, she was already not really going at nap or at bedtime when we started this, so we have few and far between accidents during nap and bedtime, and we get just use the same diaper over and over and over. But one thing I would say is, like, sometimes people let their kids wake up and then their kids will roll around in the bed for a little while before they go get them. If that's what you do during potty training, I wouldn't recommend that. I would kind of have your monitor, and when they wake up, I would just go grab them so that you can take them to the potty right away. Just to make sure that's part of the routine and they're not going and having accidents and all that. So that's phase one. Phase two of this little thing, usually for me, my kids, happens around day 3, day 4, somewhere around there, and it is the resisting phase. And there is just that time, it's happened with all 3 of mine, where they just resist and push back and they don't want to go, and the novelty has worn off, and they will sit for a couple minutes and then just say they can't, and then they stand up and they literally pee right next to the potty. It is so frustrating. Or they just say, no, I'm not going. And in those cases, I don't drag them to the potty. They just, I don't want to make this a harder experience than it has to, so we just might have an accident. But it's really frustrating. It's really hard as a parent. And the biggest advice I can give you during this resistance phase is to not show your frustration. They see it. It's just not good. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give you. It's a short period. It usually lasts like just that 1 day or 2 days. But it's just, oh, whoops, let's try again next time. Accidents happen. And they can actually help you clean up the accident if they want to. You know, we have done that. And then we do the same routine as we would. We clean it up, throw that away, and then we wash hands like we normally would and do, you know, the whole finish up the routine. So they can do that and just try again next time. And if they are like not wanting to go to the potty at all, they get there and they're like, no, 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 no. That's where I might start using some enticements. That's where I might pull out a book for them to read on the potty, or do what we call at my house a potty party. A potty party is basically having a song on that we dance to while we sit on the potty and try to go. I have also put the potty chair like facing a wall, really close to the wall, and given her like a car or a train that she can drive on the wall while she tries to go. Like just things that entice them to sit on the potty for a minute or 2. So that is during the resistance phase. That's where I'll introduce that stuff. And then during this phase, you just have to stick with it. The process is the same, you know, with the whoops, the accidents, the rewards for successes. Like the process is the same, the timing of when you do it, the cadence, watching their cadences, all that is the same as phase 1. But it's just a frustrating time, that resistance. So phase 3 then, after the resistance has ended, you kind of go back to like what phase 1 was a bit. They're like sitting on the potty again. You're kind of just bringing them at their cadence. And so that's when you can kind of start prompting. Phase 3 is like the prompting phase where you can start asking, do you have to go potty? Guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say no, because that's just what kids do. They don't wanna stop what they're doing to go to the bathroom. They don't want to. So 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be no. But if they say yes, great, take them to the go. Likely not the case though. So if they say no, I say, let's think about it. Think about it really hard. Do you think you have to go potty? Do you feel it in your belly? Something like that. A lot of times she says no again. But I say, okay, we'll try again in a couple minutes. If then in a couple minutes, you know it's their cadence, you see the cues, take them to the potty. Entice them for a potty party, or just take them to the potty. It is what it is. Or you can ask again in a few minutes, do you have to go to the potty? If you know it's their cadence, you know, whatever. Or if it's no, you can just let them have an accident. Whatever it is. But again, process is the same. Of you see them going, you put them on the potty, you can ask them, whatever. You put them on the potty, and then maybe this is the phase also, the prompting phase, like when they've done this for 5, 6, 7 days, you can kind of put them on the potty, and you don't have to stay there and encourage and listen and read and do those things. You can kind of leave them there for a couple minutes, step away, maybe where you can still see them, but kind of step away, give them some privacy, gain that independence for themselves, get the confidence to be able to sit on the potty by themselves. Like those are all so important. So during that phase, rewards are still the same, all that. It's just more of a prompting phase, and you're still no underwear. You might have pants on or a dress, but still no underwear, diaper, pull up, that sort of thing. So then we move to phase 4, and the phase 4 is the underwear phase. You don't want to move to this phase until you've had a good solid week of like pretty consistent successes, right? And for me, this is about, I don't know, day 8, 9 for us, I would say. About a week in, a week and a half in for us. And so by that time, I wait for a success and plan for that. And then I will take them to the store to pick out their own very first pack of underwear. And I reiterate when they pick it out that, you know, we shouldn't pee in these. These are your special new undies. We have to make sure we keep them dry. We don't want to ruin them. You wouldn't want to, you know, whatever. And let me just tell you this. 1, you're gonna have to work with them to figure out how to pull those underwear up and down, because getting them over their rumps, getting them over their privates can be a little tricky. But 2, the snugness of those undies is going to trigger some accidents. It's just the belly of the beast. Like, it's just going to. So know that up front, it's gonna happen. But consistency is key here. You keep up with this, still prompting, still rewarding, still doing all the things that we've talked about previously, and you should eliminate most of those accidents. This slowly, slowly, it takes days, but for my kids has been like a week. Rosemary maybe 2. It turns into self-initiation, where they just, you know, go by themselves. I don't really have to ask as much anymore. So I would say, you know, for my 2 oldest, it took about 2 weeks total, a week of like the first couple phases, and then a week of the underwear phase to get potty trained day and night. Rosemary, it took a little bit longer. Hers was about a 3-week success period. But that's what it took. I know this is getting long. I don't want to make it too long, and that's pretty much what it is. So if you have more questions, ask them in the comments below. But I do want to make a couple of notes, disclaimers. 1, nights. Mine were waking up 16 to 18 months dry, so that's what triggered me. If you are not doing that, I don't have suggestions. You're gonna have to find help elsewhere for night training. And 2, daycare. I've been home with mine, working from home or whatnot, so I actually don't really have daycare advice either. You might have to find that elsewhere. So hope this is helpful. That's the point. I hope it's helpful for you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.